Hello everyone, hey, it's the Cowboy. Welcome to the ALTCOINS Cafe. This would be episode 2. I've done something similar a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure exactly what the format of this whole thing would be going forward. I know there is an interest out there in altcoins and people kind of want to see what the counts are and when things are moving, especially now that we're a little bit bullish on the space. And a couple of weeks ago I've talked about kind of the ones that are up here that you can see in the list, but I'm going to add today also Ethereum and Litecoin as well. And then as time progresses, we might shift and show you a few of some of the other ones that we follow into our pro room. But let's kind of jump and get started and see where things stand. Again, we're pretty excited on the space. You can kind of find us here on Telegram at Elliott Wave Cafe. There's a public chat, there's a premium room as well, and you can also find me on Twitter at Elliott Cafe, where I'm not that active on Twitter, but I post every once in a while stuff that I think it's interesting. But nevertheless, you can kind of get in touch with me on these channels. So let's get going and see where things stand. Now, let me start with Ethereum Bitcoin. I think this is one that's kind of been on the focus lately as it's getting a little bit more aggressive, and I've had this kind of on my radar for a while, by looking at it as a third wave intermediate here that's starting to get formed. And I talked about it a little bit previously into some of the other videos, but we pushed back here as a part of a larger second wave into the 618. We've done another impulse here and then another pullback into the 618, and I think the trend now, it's probably going to start to move to the upside, a little bit more aggressive. If this is correct in being a 1-2-1-2, that means that this larger third of a third wave should really pick up steam here as we break above the 0.04 in Ethereum Bitcoin. So that's kind of my focus going forward. First, this wave 3 minor, and then follow a larger advance in this wave 3 intermediate. And you can see how Bitcoin is actually getting a little bit weaker, and Ethereum is gaining up strength. So it's important to watch this ratio, and it seems to be moving into the favor of Ethereum Bitcoin. So the counts, look, the counts look good. I have kind of longer time frames as well. I'm not going to show them here, but overall, I think Ethereum is kind of poised to gain over Bitcoin based on my counting and interpretation that I have on here. So let's go and jump into the other alts and see where things stand. I'm going to come back at Stellar, and let's start with Ethereum. I've done, I think on Saturday only, our regular Bitcoin and Ethereum wave analysis, so you can go and see a little bit more detail about this. But we've actually, we continue to move higher in here. The trend continues to look bullish. We're contained between these nice parallel lines. The trend is pretty clear. I think we're going to go ahead and target this, anywhere between 37 to 47,000 in Ethereum in this initial larger third wave intermediate, followed by a fourth, and then a continuation higher in fifth. If I look quickly at the moving averages in here, we're above the 50. We continue to stay bullish, 200 points higher. So, I'm not going to argue with this trend. The next one on my list is Litecoin. In here, you can see moving averages also pointing higher. We're above the 21-day. We pulled sharply back in here, but I think this is possibly just a small blip. We should continue to trend to the upside. In terms of the count, there's a couple of ways in here. I think this third wave intermediate could still be in progress, but I'm going to be fine if we're starting to correct in this larger fourth wave as well. I'm looking at it as a 1-2-1-2, and then we have, somewhat of a, let's say, not that impulsive move in here. I mean, it's nice and trending. It's not really overlapping, but it's not as impulsive as some of the other alts, where you can notice that Litecoin is a little bit more, underperforming the other alts as well. But I think the count continues to look clean, and I remain bullish on it as well. Looking next to Stellar on my list here, the count, it's also, not straight as impulsive as, let's say, IOTA it is, and maybe DOT and some of the other nuance in here. But I think, it remains focused to the upside. If this wave 3 intermediate was already reached up into these highs, then we should start moving up down here in this fourth wave intermediate. And this might take a little bit of a while, to unfold. I mean, you can see the wave 2 took some time, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the case. This could be just wave 2 of a larger fifth wave, and we continue to push higher. So I'm pretty bullish on it. I remain focused on the upside. I mean, we're above these moving averages as well. We're just above the 50. We're kind of, retesting it here, and it offers support. but I think the trend is higher in here. It's just kind of deciding what it really wants to do, if it wants to move into this fourth wave or continue to move bullish. So I'm not ready to, to say that this is a major top in stellar and we're moving lower, aggressively here. I still think that even if we're going to consolidate, the trend is going to continue to be higher. Here is IOTA that continues to look also really, really good. Above, the sell-off stopped exactly at the 50-day moving average. We kind of closed back above it, and I think we look good as well. The count, it looks like this in 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, third of a third of a third. Very nice impulsive move, followed by this sort of third wave triangle, possibly a push up here in this fifth wave, third wave minor, and a setback here in the fourth wave minor. It's possibly starting in here. Again, the trend remains up. We're continuing to focus in reaching these highs, maybe towards $4, maybe even $7, moving forward, over the next few months into IOTA. So I think, this continues to look pretty solid in there. Tezos, on the other hand, it's a little bit more choppy. It pulled back. It stopped at the 50-day moving average. We're finding support in here. In terms of the way the counts look, I have a 1, 2, 1, 2 with another 1, 2, which means that this should really get aggressive to the upside. My minimum target for this is about $10.40, where this wave 3 intermediate would travel equal with this wave 1. I'm getting a little bit of a pushback here from the top of this channel through this big sell-off, but we remain contained on this channel, and we should possibly re-embark in a new move and continue to make new highs in Tezos. It's kind of one of my favorites in here. I own it, and I think continues to look good. You're getting also rewards. So, an ideal target would be about $23, where this larger third wave intermediate would travel 161.8 multiple of this wave 1. Let's jump over to look at Binance coin. This one, it's been quite aggressive. You can notice in here that the trend continues to be very strong. We're getting just rejections from the 21-day moving average. We haven't even reached the 50 in a long time. The latest one was kind of back in here, so this would offer support on the way down, but we might already be entering into a fourth wave in here. I think that the sequence in here could be counted as complete. It's got all the characteristic of a super clean impulsive move that's probably done, and the market is trying to struggle to make new highs. It might fail in here, and we could get a series of complex corrections that would start to unfold and maybe come back towards 400, 380, something like that in the near future. The trend continues to remain strong, so I'm not going to argue if we're going to make new highs, but I think we're getting a little bit tired in here, and we're going to kind of embark. It's nothing, we're not going to get a super crazy sell-off, I think, but maybe more of a digested move as we're kind of obviously trying to look at this super nice impulse, and then just say, listen, we've come very far, very fast, and we should rest a little bit here. The next one, I'm not going to look at NEO, but the next one I have is IDOT. It's IDOT it's dot in here, right? And polka dot, and the count I think it's pretty clean. Also, you've had this massive rise here in this larger third wave. You can notice how the move is starting to stall. So I think the meat of the move has been done already, and the market is trying to gain more strength and kind of reassert itself, and this could take a little while until it finishes off. So I don't know if I'm really ready to call an end to this fourth wave. There might be maybe another move in here. If this is some kind of a flat, let's say you get a 3, and then you get a 5, and that's a fourth, you push one more time in here in this fifth wave, and that would complete a larger third, and then you fall back. But even if that happens, I think it's going to be kind of a weak move, one more push higher, and then we're going to fall lower in this fourth wave. So I think that it's probably going to be moving sideways for a while to lower. So I'm not as bullish on it as I'm in some of the other ones. You're below the 50-day moving average. You kind of have to regain that to continue to build the momentum, and I think it's going to rest for a while, maybe even come back to retest the 200. Who knows? But let's take a look. Jump on Tronics, and Tronics, it's also nice and impulsive. I think maybe this third wave minor is complete. We should get maybe a triangle in this fourth wave following this nice impulsive move, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe this third wave is not over. Maybe one more push higher. Again, it doesn't really matter, right? We're still continuing to look higher here, maybe towards 21 cents, possibly even towards 46. you know, we're actually targeting this intermediate third wave that I still think it's a progress. And after we're taking a little bit of a break here, we're going to continue to push to new highs onto Tronics. In terms of moving averages, you know, just resting at the 21. We're still get a little bit until we get to the 50, but the trend is nice and clearly to the upside. The next one I have, it's ADA. Cardano, we've had several counts in here that were all kind of, I mean, we started to count this thing as being a series of fourth wave ever since we were making these highs in here. I kind of told the guys in the room, listen, I think Cardano, it's pretty much done in here, and it's going to go through a period of you know, sideways correction. Remember, corrections don't necessarily have to be down, they could be in time, so they can move sideways, and the market can continue to accumulate and digest, and maybe you know, have a little bit of distribution before the next leg higher begins. So is this the end of the third? It could be. This could be, you know, very similar up here to this short fifth wave out of a triangle, and now you're falling in this fourth. So I'm fine either way, you know. But what I'm saying here is that I think it's going to take some time, you know, for Cardano to get bullish again. It might fall into a period of consolidation here to match the second wave, and we'll see how deep that goes. But then once that's done, you know, I think we're still going to get another move up here in this fifth intermediate to complete a larger third wave primary. So possibly we're still going to move towards $2.30, $2.40 before maybe a larger corrective move begins in there. And then in terms of moving averages, you know, you're just resting on top of the 50, but we're pretty much flat. So this is a little bit of a signal that the market could be breaking lower in here, and just like that come down below those levels. The next one in here, it's hey, what's going on with IOTA? It's you know, no, I think I've talked about IOTA, guys. So I'm gonna go back and take a look at the next one in here, which is Dodge. Wow, what's going on with Dodge, right? Dodge is a you know, it's a pretty crazy thing to see, you know, what's going on here. I mean, the wave counts are pretty nice, you know, super nice and impulsive move in here. I mean, you might get another push up higher to complete fifth wave, but I think this move is done. You have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, larger fourth in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I think we're going to fall into a larger corrective move that might take maybe several months to unfold, and then maybe one more push higher in Dodge. So I mean, you've had a couple of very sharp rises in here, and I think the market, it's going to lose the momentum in here and start to correct lower. Let me jump onto the next one here, which is Link. Link is you know, looks good. I think it's a little bit slow into the break to the upside, but in terms of the counts, 1, 2, 1, 2, and if this is a third of a third of a third, it should have been already moving much faster. There is a chance that this wave 2 is still in progress, and that's a flat in an A, B, and then down in C. It would be a kind of an awkward flat. Or there is a chance that this wave 1 actually finishes here, and my wave 2 is wrong, and it actually needs to push in here, right? So you would be a 1, 2, you know, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's a wave 1. And now we're beginning the wave 2 decline, and then you're going to push back up higher. I think no matter what, the moves in here are going to continue to be to the upside, following, let's say, maybe a second wave pullback, maybe again towards 24 or maybe even 20. Before we embark on a new bull trend to the upside. So I remain focused here towards maybe even $100, if not $150, in Link, you know, over the next several months. And then the next one that I have here in Stellar, in XRP. This one, it's been, you know, we've been tracking this one quite nicely since we've had this triangle, and I kind of prepared our room into the breakout, and we were looking for an end of this wave 1. It could be already finished. But I'm giving it one more chance to move to the upside and complete this fifth wave of this wave 1. So, you know, I'm okay either way, right? I'm not necessarily prepared to trade a move to the upside in here. I would like for this market to kind of come back here in the second wave, give me a clean, nice, maybe zigzag, and then maybe retest the breakout and then embark, you know, accumulate up into these levels, and I'll look for a break much higher in XRP. So yeah, this is pretty much a coverage of all the alts that we're following. There's a few more in there that I present to my members that we talk about, like, you know, Aave, and you know, we have what's the other one, Filecoin, and Luna, and then we have Theta in there, and VET, and Uniswap, and some of the other ones, that I talk about it into the room. I don't have counts on all of them, but I kind of jump on them and take a look and give my perspective on where things are. So if you guys want to get more involved into the alts and what we do, come and visit us into the program. You can take a trial. It's about it's free for 7 days, and then for a full month subscription you also get an access to our full course, and to our stocks channel and to our charts channel, and there's a lot of other information in there. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, and maybe the notification bell if you want to be notified. And thanks you for subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. I think at the end of the week we'll do the macro cafe, where we're going to take a look at gold and silver and maybe oil, and I think we have our kind of regular schedule there, the S&P 500 and all the others. So I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.